What is up, my friends and lead generation family? We're here on another episode of Mentors Collective. This one's specifically dedicated to cold email warm up, a concept that most of my community is familiar with. But if you never sent cold emails before, you might learn some stuff. And if you do send cold emails, this one's going to be probably the most in depth conversation about warming that you've ever gotten. So strap in. And to have this conversation, I'm honored to introduce Daniel Schneider is the founder of Warmy.io, one of the top warming companies, and he is going to be explaining to us the technicalities of warming, some strategies that we can look out for. So Daniel, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, sir.
All right, Daniel, let's talk about email warmup. In your own words, what is email warmup?
Yeah, so email warm up is building the reputation of your domain when you send emails, whether they are cold emails, marketing emails, any type of emails. So you need to build the reputation of your domain, of your IPs, to make sure it's just part of building the reputation to land in the inbox and not to the spam. If your emails will land to the spam folder, probably no one will see them, no one will engage with them, you will not get the outcome that you want from the email. So in general, the email channel is the most effective in terms of ROI, but you have to land in the inbox to get what you want, at least the first step.
Absolutely correct. And Google and Microsoft are getting better and better, it seems like, at catching spam. So we need to get better and better at warm up. So you mentioned a couple things there, increasing reputation, and then also increasing reputation of a couple different things, just IP, server. So what are those different elements, those variables that need to have a good reputation? And then how do you increase the reputation?
Yeah, so there are a few elements. So the first one is from what we do in our company, we always research and understand, because there is no guide, no guide. Every guide we will find out there, it's something that tomorrow will be probably relevant. So this is what we do. So four different things. The first is the message itself. Okay, the message itself, even the message that you're writing has a reputation. You can build a reputation of the message because the spam filter can, with the time, accept the message. If you train the filters, accept the messages that you are sending, the HTMLs or the cold emails or whatever, it's the first thing you need to build a reputation. The second is the email account itself. The email account itself has a reputation. Imagine you have 10 SDRs in the company, and all of them has email accounts, and you are hiring the next one, and you open up for him a new mailbox. His mailbox will deliver less than the old one. So even the mailbox itself, the email address itself has reputation, and we need to build this reputation. The third thing is the domain that you are sending from. If you are a new domain, you are very detectable, and you have to build a reputation. It built also with the time, just passing the time, just the time itself, building the reputation. You wait more time, the reputation will be better, plus the activity on this domain, which is very important. If the activity is positive, people are reading your messages, clicking the links, reply, you will build a reputation. And the IP itself. From where are you sending this email? If you are sending from the IP on the server that's sitting next to you, and you send millions of emails, no reputation to your IP, you are dead. You will never deliver. But if you're using the IPs of Google, which they're very reliable most of the time, so you will deliver the email. So four things: template, email account, domain, and IP.
Okay, beautiful. And I guess the way to increase the reputation of each one of those are a little bit different, like the content of the message. Let's start there. Are there certain words that you shouldn't say in the content of the message? Are there links that you shouldn't send? Are there pictures and code that you shouldn't include? What should you avoid in the message body of an email to avoid the spam filters?
It's very, very interesting question. Again, a lot of answers to this question, but I will say the updated one that we have researched. we found out that even if you include your phone number, it can trigger the spam most of the time. I don't know why, but it works like that in
Wow.
our recent research. But let's go to the obvious one. If you include files, if you include pictures, if you include finance words about finance, which triggers a lot. Obviously, this adult industries, somehow they trigger, but it's from experiments. If we send 1,000 emails and we compare it to other industries, so we can see it. But this is another thing. Links. When you include the links in your email, in your message, the link itself should have a high reputation. So if the link itself was a low reputation, but your domain was high reputation, it will not work. So the link in the message should also have high reputation, which is very, very important. The signature, as I mentioned, most of the signatures today people are doing very beautiful, but they are coming as an HTML or sometimes JPEG or something like that. It also can trigger the spam filter. So if you can make it a plain text, it will be it will be better. And the phone number, which recently we understood triggers the spam. Very interesting. But yeah, this is about the message. And again, there is no list, to be honest, no list to follow. It's only A/B testing all the time. Yeah.
Interesting, especially with the phone number thing. It sounds counterintuitive because all cold emails need to have an address in them, right? According to CAN-SPAM laws in America. And I feel like a phone number makes you look a little bit more human. So that's an interesting one. Going back to the links, a lot of people like to send Calendly links, booking links in their email. Have you seen any problems doing that? And then is there any risk to sending, thousands, hundreds of thousands of cold emails with your own business domain in there? I mean, can that put your domain at risk if you're using your domain in cold emails?
So let me answer your first question about Calendly first. Regarding Calendly, I think let's go to the end result, which we try to book a meeting. This is just only my personal opinion. If we include the Calendly link immediately on the first email, it will be harder because today, cold emails became a very popular thing, and many people sending cold emails. So for me, I think it's better to first build a relationship, like without pushing to a call or pushing to a demo or something, but just build kind of relationship. Send something, nice about the company, some evidence that you researched them, and then, start the conversation. But once you have the thread with the prospect, you can send whatever you want. Okay, most of the time you can send whatever you want. So answering your question, so if you will not include Calendly in the first message and you build a relationship and there is already a thread with the prospect that you replied, yeah, cool, that you research about my company. Yes, I'm from US and I don't know, I like Miami, I don't know, whatever. Then you can include whatever you want and then it doesn't matter. But some of the time from our experiments, when we included the link and excluded, we saw different results. So yeah, so some of the time I will not recommend to send links on the first email from deliverability perspective, and from my personal perspective, not pushing to a demo from the first email.
Right. And if you get the reply on that first email, that's a good signal to the email server. So it builds your reputation. Is that correct?
Yeah, but once you build the thread, you will not land in the spam from your second email, third, and then correspondence, and then you can send whatever you want. Calendly, HubSpot, I don't know, any other
video link. Good.
Video, yeah.
All right, that is very helpful. Is there any website or list of words to avoid sending in a cold email? You mentioned finance words and adult words as an example. Is there anything that you guys use to figure out if that email is going to be threaded to spam because of the content?
Yeah, we have on our website, we developed it personally to ourselves. Then we just made a free tool on the public page. So first is to detect the spammy words, and the spammy words, how long, if you have too much links, etc. And second, we have a placement test also on the free tool. You just send an email. We tell you where you are landing on different providers. So if you are landing too much on spam and, in your message tagged with a lot of spammy words, so probably you will be not, in higher probability, you will not land in the inbox when you send to your real prospects. So making a placement test, there are a few of them, or you can use ours without any registration, or spammy words detector also as a free tool on our website, and that's it. So, but again, just to be honest, there is no, Google didn't publish a list and said, if you avoid them, yeah. So it's something that, is from general knowledge, from experiments, etc. And yeah.
All right, I'll try and link those Wormy free tools in the show notes. So if anyone's curious to try those, I'll make those available to you down below. Thank you, Daniel. All right, moving on from the body of the message, that was really helpful because we always wonder, like, oh, what if I include a Calendly link in my first email? Should I go for the reply? What do I put in my signature? Do I use a picture of my face? So that, I think that answered a lot of our questions. Thank you so much. All right, now warming up the email account, the IP, and the domain. How do you build the reputation of those variables, of those elements?
Great. So let's move to the email account. We figured out that you have to add a real photo of a face to your email account, which is very helpful. We experiment with and without uploading an image or not a logo of your company, not anything else, a real face, and it helps. So when someone sends you an email on Gmail, you see a face. This is what you have to add to your email account. A signature, if you go to the settings, not in the message itself, but on the settings, if you go to the settings and you have this, built-in add signature, we also experimented this, and it increased the deliverability when you set it up or not. We did, different A/B testing. So if you by default put a signature there, it's kind of approval that you are a real person. Okay. And the email that you are sending from is better to be as a name, not an office or, general or something. Yeah. So let's say Daniel@company.com or something like that, which also makes the difference. Okay. And obviously, after doing all these kind of things, as the time pass, it builds the reputation if you are not abusing. Some of the time, if you are using Google, Google Workspace to send emails, and you are an admin, you get this person abusing or something. So
yes,
as your mailbox is older, you build a reputation plus positive activity, not negative, but positive activity. For example, you send emails and people are replying. Reading your emails, like staying on the message itself and reading the emails, clicking the links if you are sending some links. So these all kind of things, building the authority that your email account not spamming.
Okay, that's really helpful. Have you ran tests? Say I want to scale up my cold email efforts, and I'm going to use my name on multiple different email addresses, and I use the same picture on every single one. Or maybe I'm creating a pseudonym and I'm pulling a picture from Google and putting that on my email address. Do you know if that can negatively affect deliverability, either using the same picture over and over again or using other publicly accessible pictures?
No, we didn't see it affecting. We had this research when I know a lot of people sending cold emails. They are setting up different, like Daniel.s and send as right. Daniel and different accounts with the same thing. And we didn't see if we put different personas, it impacts. So we didn't see any impact on it. But maybe awesome. Tomorrow it will impact. So I don't know. Till today it's relevant.
It's a cat and mouse game out there. Now, one question that I get a lot, and I've actually been curious about this as well, .coms, .nets, .orgs, .ios, .ais, putting little dashes between the domain names that you're purchasing. Any effect of any of those things on deliverability?
Definitely. Plus, you mentioned all the list, I think one by one, what is more, relevant. plus where you buy the domains is very, very crucial. Okay, where you buy the domains. It's not like you can buy everywhere. This is the cheapest place, I will buy from there. No, even where you buy, it's relevant because the reputation of the IPs and the RDNS of I will not go maybe too technical, but it's relevant because if you buy from some places, I will not tell the bad. I will tell what I recommend. I don't get any. I don't have any connection with from where we buy. If you buy from this these places kind of some of the time you can even go to spam house after 1 2 days 3 days. I don't know if someone was in count saw this before, but they people are buying domains doing nothing, or I don't know, and then they're on spam house, which how come? This is because from where they bought the domains is very, very crucial. So I recommend and this is what we do. Maybe I'm also wrong, but this is what we do. We buy from GoDaddy, and maybe it's cost a little bit more. I don't know, but it's more reliable. On other companies, which we also experimented, immediately there were problems.
Okay, GoDaddy is a safe option. That's where I buy my domain, so that is a sigh of relief. Thank you for mentioning that. I did not realize that where you purchase your domains had an effect. That is a new one for me that I never even thought about. So very good insight there. What about .coms, .nets, .ios? Is there a rule that we should stick to? Just .coms? In your experience, what is the right thing to do?
Yeah. So first, let's look in the eyes of the recipient. So when the recipient will see .com, etc., it makes a better feel that it's a real website. And as much as shorter, shorter, and .com, it feels like the authority is higher. But the .com has higher deliverability, but it's very, very slight. Very, very, like we did the experiment. We bought .com, then we bought .net. It's something that you will not feel if you send, let's say, 1,000 email a day. I don't know. So it's not something you will feel a huge difference that you need to be worried about. But if you can, .com, just building more, on the other side, feeling that you are a real company. Very important. Right. On the other way, when you buy this dummy domain, to forward it to a real working website. And this is what build your also authority as an RDNS for you. So when someone will put this dummy domain, it will land on the real website, which is very crucial. Okay.
Yes, we definitely do that. That's very important. And I think you're spot on why it has an effect. When I see a .com versus a .net emailing me, I'm much more likely to reply to the .com or trust the links from the .com. Just intuitively, I'm more comfortable with it. So that might maybe account for the difference in deliverability. What about people who are buying, hundreds of domains, and say my company is Otter Leads AI, and I want to buy otter-leads.com to send cold emails from? Is there any issue with including dashes or very long domains? Have you seen like a sweet spot or a rule for purchasing domains?
As you mentioned, .com is the best, then .co, and then .net. But again, from our experiment, what we did, we obviously read some articles and followed some rules, but then we did our own experiment and we didn't see, something very, very crucial. We didn't see it. So I will not say that this is, impacts, deadly on what you're doing.
Okay, great. So I think we covered most of setup other than, DNS setup. Obviously, everybody needs a DKIM record, a DMARC record. BIMI records have become more popular. We got one on our primary domain, otterpr.com. So we have that nice blue check on Gmail with our icon showing up. But we don't send cold emails from that domain. And I imagine getting a BIMI record for lots of cold email sending domains is fairly difficult. Other than that, is there anything that we can do to set ourselves up for success before we start actually, warming up those email addresses?
Yeah, so the settings I mentioned are very important. Wait as much as you can before you send any cold email. This is important. So just the time building the reputation. And And I think the most important thing is just always measuring and understanding what's going on according to your benchmark. If in your industry you always used to get, I don't know. By the way, I will not reply. I will not rely on open rates. Just my personal opinion only for what you're trying to achieve with the email. Maybe booking calls, or maybe purchases if you are an e-commerce company, etc. So if you have a benchmark and you know that out of 100 prospect that I send, I need to have at least 5 meetings. So this is what I would stick to, and then go back and try to measure. There are a lot of tools to help you to understand what's going on with your domain, but the most the most popular and the free one is Google Postmaster. Google Postmaster not always will show you something if you are not sending enough, but Google Postmaster is something worth to know, worth to connect and understand, and it will be giving you a feeling of what's going on. It will give you domain reputation totally for free. And if you are more advanced, SNDS is for for the Outlook, the same like Google Postmaster, but for Outlook. If you are sending emails and generating leads with with corporates, which most of them using Microsoft, so SNDS is crucial for your business. So SNDS and Google Postmaster free tools, but can give you also an information about your deliverability. And deliverability becomes harder and harder every day, or changes every day. I will not say harder, but changes, and it's something that you need always to take care about. And it's not set and forget in terms of tracking it. And the new rules that will be on February, which actually no one knows how it will impact, beside some points that Google actually publish, but no one really knows because no one tried to do that. And people probably will buy more domains to avoid this. If they will buy more domains, they will send less emails per domain, and if one domain is dead, they will rotate, etc. So
Right.
yeah, so these are the new things to know, but only by measuring, I would say, the tips. Otherwise, nothing.
We'll have to have you back on the show in late February, early March to see what you guys are finding with those new updates. It's hard to even speculate now, like what's going to come of it, what we're going to do to fight back. I mean, that was a good thing that you mentioned. Another thing that I was thinking is companies are just going to have to adapt by ramping up warm up. That way, that the number of messages being marked as spam is way small compared to the massive amount of warm up emails that are not getting marked as spam. So we'll see, what really comes out of this. But that was one of the reasons I reached out to Warmy, is because bracing for this February update, I think this could be a potential solution for people. One more thing I wanted to touch on the setup end. A lot of people deliberate on where the best place to set up your email senders is. Is it Google Workspace? Is it Office? Is it private SMTP servers or shared servers? In your experience, is there a preference? Is there one that you recommend, especially going forward with Google rolling out updates? Are they becoming less cold email friendly? Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, so it's very, very good question. So there are advantages and disadvantages. You can build your own server. You can put it in your house and connect everything, and you'll send millions of emails. So the advantage, you can send millions of emails for very low cost, but very, very low deliverability, because your IPs, etc., they don't have any reputation. Nobody knows them. So I would recommend to stick to the biggest companies, which say Google or Outlook, Microsoft, or some of the time also Zoho, which I also saw that they have good deliverability, to be honest. But I would not recommend specific one. But if you want to send a lot of emails, much more than Google or Outlook let you send, and you want to build your own infrastructure, you need a good expert to guide you, because it's not simple. So this is the trade-off. In Google, you just buy this mailbox and connect and send, but with other infrastructure, it's possible. We work with such heavy senders. They are not sending 1,000 a day; they are sending 1 million a day. But totally different approach. It's not easy. Obviously, it's not with Google and not with Outlook, but it's possible. But it depends on the needs.
What about Mailgun? I get a lot of questions about services like Mailgun to scale up their cold email, even getting massive amounts of emails out every day from a single inbox. Is that something you've done experiments with?
Yes, we have customers that sending from Mailgun, from SendGrid, from other companies, email APIs. Just for you to know, no company from what I just mentioned, no one likes cold emails, and on their terms of service, you will see if you will use them, use their service for cold emails, they can just one day you will wake up and everything goes to trash. So maybe a good solution, but it's temporary. One day they will shut down and they will detect that what you are doing. When you do something, you actually destroy their reputation, and they don't want it. So it happens. So we have customers doing it, but they're always complaining. Oh, SendGrid, closed my account. That's it, without any explanation. You can do that because it's against our terms of service. So
right, that's good to know,
yeah.
and a massive risk if you're going to try something like that. Very scary. All right, Daniel, I'd love to talk a little bit about warming for a few minutes, what you guys specialize in. Assuming you've got everything set up correctly, now you've got to start building that reputation. How does warming work? I mean, building the infrastructure for a warming network sounds unbelievably hard. I'd love to hear what the process is, what warming is, how the inboxes interact with each other. Tell me a little bit about warming and how it works.
Actually, specifically, what we are doing only a warm up and only building deliverability, solving deliverability issues. We're almost 40 people working only on this, researching, etc. So this is our, bread and butter. How it works actually? When we developed algorithms which we always improve. When you connect to our system, we detect a lot of things about your domain, your mailbox. As I said, how old is your domain? How old is your mailbox? What is the current reputation and everything? And according to this, the strategy of improving is built. How we do that? Actually, we start sending emails on your behalf to other email accounts. And the way of interaction is very, very unique because this is mimic the way of human doing it. It's very, very crucial. It's not just, on the other side, your replies, etc. Like there are other tools that are doing it because this is the easy way just to interact between, email accounts. But to be honest, Google knows this, and some of the times they're just waste of time doing back and forth. What we do is a human-like, and this is what we developed, like computers and some of the time even people actually opens the email, scrolling down, clicking the links, reading the messages, and it's a big infrastructure that is doing it. And this is why, the reputation goes up. By sending back and forth between networks, some of the time it works, some of the time it's not. Google already, it's like cybersecurity. At the beginning it worked, then Google solved this problem. It doesn't work, but now again, we need to invent something new, and this is what we're specialized in. It's not like another feature in a tool. It's the main problem that we're dealing with, which is very, very hard problem. And this is what we do. We're interacting between mailboxes, huge amount of these mailboxes interacting like a real human. Open the messages, scroll it down, clicking, reading, etc. Spending some time on the message. Very, very important.
With real humans, you use real humans to do the interactions?
No,
like real humans?
No, some of the time, like real human, and some of the time there are people just to monitor, etc., and do that and to compare. But there are computers and servers that are doing it. Okay, so this is also part of the thing. So we do different approaches, and we direct the messaging from to different approaches and algorithms to take the decision whether it should be like human or it's okay for now to do like between as a normal warm up as you always familiar. It's in the market right now. And this is what we do. So as a user, you don't need to think about it, but for us, it's important because we know the stats, we immediately do placement test to ourselves, check, okay, the placement is low, we need to do something else, human interaction, and then this is the way. And we're always, inventing ourselves according to what's going on with deliverability. And it's no more like that, just sending back and forth. Some of the time it doesn't work anymore. That's it.
Right. And it's such a complicated problem that I see companies who are specializing in sending also like doing warming on the side. And it can seem advanced, but I can imagine all of the different, roadblocks and technicalities that you have to overcome and adjust on a frequent basis in order to keep up with Google and Microsoft and all of the new updates that they roll out to, to counteract it. So, working with a company that's dedicated to that and adapting to warming, I think is so crucial. And you guys do a few things that I've never seen before. One really cool thing is adjusting the content of the message to what it is that you're going to be sending. You can like choose what your industry, what your offer is, and it will send messages like that. As opposed to some companies, it just sends, random AI generated cold emails and has nothing to do with the message that you're actually sending. So I feel like that could be a potential issue. And the other thing is the volume. I'd love to talk to you about volume for a little bit. Google G Suite accounts, I think, have a max of 2,000 emails per day that you're able to send?
Officially, yeah. Officially, they posted 2,000.
Yeah, and most people stick to like 50 per day with on cold email. And most warming softwares cap at around 50 to 100 per day, like tops. You guys are able to get 1,000 plus per mailbox per day. Theoretically, and I've never done this, maybe your clients have, I'd love to know the answer. If you were to warm an inbox at 1,000 emails per day for 6 months, is it possible for that mailbox to deliver 1,000 cold emails per day from a single mailbox?
Not from Gmail. Not from Gmail. It will. It is. It's not a solution for Gmail. It's more for the your previous question, like Mailgun, SendGrid, your own servers. So yeah. So we are more. We are not like what makes us different. To be honest, one of the things that makes us different from all the other services that we're targeting. The heavy senders, the Mailgun servers, the senders, SendGrid, own servers that's sending millions. And for them, we need a huge amount of warm-ups. But if you will do it the same for Gmail, there is no, huge impact. If you will take and send 2,000 warm-up, yes, it will be slightly better if you will warm up with, let's say, 500 or 1,000. But it's not something that will. I would recommend go and to G Suite and send 1,000. I will not recommend. Stick to what you said, 50, etc. Send less per domain, you will get better results. So it's not for the Gmail senders, Outlook senders, for the heavy senders who wants to go to with Mailgun, SendGrid, there are a lot of them, and on servers. So if you, let's say, use Apollo, it's very popular that people using SendGrid, Apollo, or Mailgun Apollo, I think, and this infrastructure for them is perfect. But the one who sent from G Suite, etc., I would stick to low volumes all the time because Gmail is Gmail. So this giant knows everything about you, how you write the content, everything.
So with that being said, with the sending number and keeping the sending volume low for success, is there a proper number, like a sweet spot? 30 emails per day, 50 emails per day? At what should you warm your email inbox to? Like how many warming emails should you be doing per day? How long should you warm it until? And then how many emails should you send per day from your cold email mailbox?
I would say something that nobody wants to hear, but I would wait at least 3 months before you send any cold email. I think it's too long, maybe. Yeah, but I would wait at least 3 months. It will build a good reputation for your domain, and then you can work with it. But less than that is just experimenting, because you can. We did experiment without warming up, sending immediately 100 emails a day from Gmail, new domain, 1 week, deliverability perfect deliverability, doing nothing, and then after 1 week, zero, nothing went to inbox.
Wow.
But then, it's also it can be also a strategy. I don't know if you can do it automatically, or you have this if you are passionate enough, you can buy every week a new domain, a new Gmail, and you can shoot the emails, and it will work. 1 week it will work. So
So what volume are you
there's no
doing every
sweet
day
spot.
in warming emails? And then what volume are you doing in cold emails? Is it like 50 warming per day, 50 cold per day, per mailbox? Is it what do you stick to?
When we do our cold emails,
Yes.
we developed it such way that it plays by itself, so it's reduced and goes up by itself. If we see what we do, actually, we send a placement test to we have our placement test. The placement is down, or it's down for a specific provider. Let's say we deliver everything beside Gmail, so we stop sending cold email to Gmail, but we continue to send cold emails to Outlook, Zoho, etc., which today is very easy. When you verify, there are a lot of email verifiers, so they give you if it's email verified, plus they give you the provider. So if you can play with that, you can do that as well. So we don't have these rules, because these rules, in my opinion, are already irrelevant, because this is changing all the time. It's really crazy, and this is why
Right.
maybe we by ourselves, the one that research, maybe we by ourselves are old and not understand anything. I don't know, but what we do in our system, we actually see if we deliverability low with Gmail, we stop sending cold email with Gmail, but we continue with Outlook. The Gmail will recover after a few days, because we let it work, warming up, show good activity, and then again. But we always need to send this tester to make sure we came back to Gmail again.
Interesting. So if my inbox is connected to Warmy and you guys are doing my warming, and I have perfect deliverability to Google inboxes, but horrible deliverability to Outlook, you'll focus that quantity of emails on Outlook to get that deliverability back up, and all of that's done automatically?
Yeah. We slightly increase the Outlook, reduce a little bit the Gmail, and our mission now is to recover Outlook. Some of the time it takes a few days, some of the time a few weeks. It depends, on the activity, etc. Plus, if you are continue to send cold emails, it also impacts, because we don't have any power on what you are doing with your cold emails. So it's
Right.
very hard. But when we send our own, you asked about our own, we can play with it by ourselves. So programmatically it's possible who can do that. But if not, our recommendation: bad deliverability, stop sending cold emails. It will recover and you can continue.
Beautiful. Now, Daniel, say you're giving me advice. I'm setting up 100 Gmail inboxes, and and they're all warm, and I want to start sending cold emails from these inboxes. How many emails per day should I send per inbox to stay safe? Is it 30, 40, 50? Can I go up to 100? What is that number?
I don't have this number. I don't have this number, and never had, to be honest. I will start slow.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, but if I will say 200 and it will not work, then what I just said. If I said 50, maybe it's low. So I would start very low. I don't know, 10, 20. See again the outcome, okay, that I'm trying to achieve. Or do some placement test, or Google Postmaster, or whatever. Because you can kill it in one day. Let's say in this, you have a bad day and you send 150 emails. 50 emails. You stick to the rule, but you just have a bad day because 50 out of 50 of these people are marked you as a spammer. Mark as a spam.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it's a bad day. That's it. Tomorrow you are done. That's it. You can throw away this domain, your mailbox, your time, everything. So it's a bad day. So I would not say any number. It's looking
really
into the
interesting way to
numbers,
look.
the stats.
Yeah, that's a good insight. All right, Daniel, a little bit about Warmy. You mentioned that you target really high volume senders.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about your target clientele, who you work with. Is there anyone in my audience that you think could benefit from Warmy over some of these other popular warming tools like Instantly AI or Smart Lead? Walk me through that.
Yeah, so we most of the time we target people that sending a lot of emails. If you are sending, you can everyone is welcome. So we will treat everyone. We have our deliverability experts will jump on a call with you and explain almost everything I said here. You free can book a call and we will tell you everything. But most of the benefit is from people that are about to send a lot of emails. So if you are frustrated of sending from Gmails, we help you with Gmail as well. But if you want to move to SendGrid, to Mailgun, to your own server, and you want to send thousands, you are tired of this 50 a day, 30 a day, and you want to build a good reputation of your server, of your domains, you are welcome to come to us. We will help you because there is no other tool that can help you with that. And we definitely can help you. The volume that we are going to send, the approach of our warm-up, the other tools that will can help you to make sure that you are on the right track. So we are solving email deliverability. We're about to connect to Google Postmaster. So very soon we can connect to your Google Postmaster and we analyze from inside what's going on to your SNDS. So we are doing only deliverability. This problem becomes harder and harder, and this is why our ideal customer is the one that don't know a deliverability, want to deliver it to someone else, to other company, and he wants to send a lot. If you are sending 50 emails, so better you even not to warm up, to be honest. Just send emails and that's it. When it's died, just switch the account. Don't waste your time. But if you're going to send a lot and you have in mind, I don't know, maybe you are an affiliate marketer, maybe you are a heavy cold emailer. So this is for you, and we will help you and guide you hand by hand and treat you so you will deliver the emails, which this problem becomes harder. As a side feature, the tools you are mentioned are very good, they are very popular, but in my opinion, this is not your professionality. They are good in probably in building very nice product, very easy to use, but the problem of deliverability should be treated every single day. And unfortunately, this problem becomes harder and harder. In February, new rules, some rules that they are not publishing, there are rules that are not saying. Content analyzing, they are published as well. Very soon or already launched, content analyzing, very important. And all these kind of AI models that can read your messages also will make it harder and harder. So I know cold outreach, it's not easy, but we are not only for cold emailers, but we are also we're serving very big companies and sending newsletters for millions of people. Very important. Let's take, for example, just I don't know, cell phone companies. They have millions of subscribers, and some of them just it's a B2C, and they will mark this domain as a spam. They need to have a good deliverability. Very important. So we are also for them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
This is
interesting, especially
answering.
we have a massive marketing list at Otter PR. Almost 100,000 people in our list, a lot of which are personal inboxes, and it scares me every time that I send a marketing email. How many of them are going to mark us as spam? They haven't heard from us in months. So if you have a large list, I think this could be a really good solution, especially if you send from your primary domain to your list, which we do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have a side conversation at some point with you about that, Daniel. But thank you so much for joining us on the show, answering so many of the questions that me and a lot of my community has had about cold email. I would love to rendezvous in March after we've been able to test some of these new email updates so that we can all work together to implement the right solutions here. But Daniel, thanks again.
Thank you so much. Thank you. My pleasure.